Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for my update to my Face of Australia products. So these are pretty much the products I've used since my last post, which is about a year ago, but I'll link that down below. A particular thank you to Beck, and I've just gone blank, put your name here, and also to, you can get them at selected Big W, Target, Priceline, stores, as well as online from fashionaddict.com. Anyway, let's get straight to it. So what I actually want to start off with, which I thought was great for spring, summer, is actually this. It's a nail polish. And this is Cotton Candy. It's in their LUXE Now Enamel range. And hopefully this will show up on camera. As a comparison, I've got OPI Pinking of You. So it's the light pink. And the Cotton Candy here, as you can see, isn't really a light pink. It's a beautiful light coral pink. And it's not shimmery, so it's more of a cream, slightly gloss finish to it. And the price, so it was under $5, about $4.80 or something around that range I paid. Again, I'll put all the prices in that and links in the box down below. I just think that's such a great thing. I've actually worn it on my toes quite a lot, and I'm wanting to wear on my nails. So when this is gone, I'm going to put this on. This is going to be a great one for summer. And I find these sort of light corals, light pinks are great for that transition because I find they don't wash me out. They actually make me look a little bit, I suppose, tanner, for lack of a better word, a little bit less pale. Whereas I find darker, real bright colours, like maybe a hot pink, will actually wash me out a little bit. So until I get that summer glow, this is going to be great. But I think it'll look fantastic with a tan as well. That'll be great. So check that out. I do find that I had to build it up maybe 2 to 3 coats to sort of get the colour payoff and not so streaky. But after that, let it set, top coat, looked great and lasted quite well as well. So anyway, I'll let you know how that goes on the fingers. Now let's go straight into blush. So I've got 3 that I've swatched here. And here they are. So I've got Primrose, Nutmeg and Terra. I think there's about 6 or 7 in the actual range, and they're under $10. But my favorite is, no surprise, it's going to be Primrose, which is this beautiful pink, and it's like almost a dusty pink. It's like a rosy dusty pink. There's it on the skin. They're, well, I wouldn't call them shimmery, but I wouldn't call them matte. They're like a satin finish, but you do have to sort of build up the color. They're not immediately that color, so this is about a couple of swatches to get it there, but they blend well and work well on the skin. To Terra. Now Terra is actually one you can probably tell that I would use as a bronzer, and I have used it as a bronzer, but it works quite well as a blush, but it does come off a bit orangey red on my skin. That's it there. So that's Terra. So I'm trying to move quite quickly so I don't sort of do my usual blah blah blah. But this one, this is more, this is probably my second favorite one, and this is Nutmeg. And it was actually quite a surprise. I'm hoping these do pay off, these do show up on camera. So I mean, in the pan, that's sort of what it looks like. And it's sort of, I would have just passed it by. I wouldn't even bother swatching it, thinking, oh, that's not really gonna sort of be my thing. I might use it as a highlight or something. But here it is on the skin. So they were swatching, just give them a try. It's actually quite a peachy colour on my skin. So there is O Peachy, and I do plan to get it, which is more your peachy coral colour. But this is surprising, and it works quite well. So it's not overpowering on my skin. It's like I said, it is a peachy colour, a peachy pink. So yeah, that's sort of, it was quite surprising. So it's worth sort of checking that out. I'll just swatching them to sort of see how they actually work, because I wouldn't have thought Terra would have been quite so reddy orange on my skin, but it is. So anyway, let's get over to those illuminators I couldn't find. So I've actually got 2. Angel Blush I've actually had longer. Let's actually show you what it looks like. So that's Angel Blush. I've had this one the longest. This is the one I just couldn't find, and this is one of the newer ones I had, and this is Angel Flame, and this is probably more of my favorite, I have to admit. So this one, Angel Blush, as you can see, it's sort of like a bronzy illuminator. And this one is your corally pink. And they're around, what are they, $11, $14? At the $14 mark, I'll put it down below anyway. But on the skin, it'll show up, that is Angel Flame. That's that sort of orangey, that's that sort of peachy pink. And then you've got Angel Blush. And on my skin, yeah, it's more of a sort of coppery colour. To be honest though, more of a coppery colour. I don't wear them straight like that on the skin. I don't wear them as like highlighters or just a wow full-on illuminator, what I do is I actually blend them in with my foundation. What I mean by that is I'll put on sort of my makeup, I'll blend a little bit in with my foundation and sort of work it in the areas that I don't want to. I don't mean I just smear it all over my face with my foundation. That's sort of how I apply. I'm sure people have their own technique or anything, and obviously leave some feedback down below what sort of works for you, what colors you like, and what sort of maybe your skin sort of tone is. But these two I do prefer. There is a lighter pearlier one as well, and I think there is more of a bronzy color as well in the collection, so maybe check out which one might work well for you. But I think these might even work well as a maybe even a leg sort of illuminator. I haven't tried it, but I will give them a go in summer. So they say they're pearlized light reflecting mineral formula with jojoba, vitamin C and E, and they say nourishing. They are quite nourishing. I haven't found them quite drying, but like I said, I only use the tiniest amount, like half a pea size with my foundation. But I mean, they do go quite solid on the skin, quite dry as well if you do them straight. But yeah, it's up to you. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I'll just check the ingredients. So it's got jojoba seed oil and squalene in there. Anyway, oh, and you get 15 mils of product. I'm going to skip straight on to these HD foundation sticks, which I was just finding it so hard to locate. And they're a little bit of a mess, unfortunately, because I've tried everything to get the sticky security seal stuff off from Priceline. I got these at Priceline. So they're a little bit of a mess. I'll try and cover that up. But that's sort of what the packaging looks like. So it just comes like that with this seal, whatever. But Priceline, as we know, is the worst. So HD stick foundation with SPF 15 and mineral kaolin, which is like a clay. So you get that in there, and by SPF 15, because I think it has titanium dioxide or something in there. It must, which can be quite whitening, but you know, you can use it as a sunscreen. So at least you got a little bit of coverage. Now looking at them, I actually have two, as you can tell. I've got Ivory, which has gone and gotten smeared. I'm sorry, guys, but they are very soft. They're a very creamy, soft consistency, and this is honey. So I actually intermix the two, just depending on sort of my sort of colouring at the moment. I'm probably more toward Ivory at the moment once sort of summer hits more into the honey, and this is the hardest one. I could not find it, but that's them there. And I only need the littlest amount. I mean, you can really build it up to get a good coverage. I prefer light to medium coverage. I don't really want to cover my freckles. So I just use it quite lightly, but it blends fantastically because it's just so creamy. I mean, look, just one swatch, it's just so... They are quite wet. It's the best way I can describe. I do find that I do have to prime really well to make them sort of last throughout the day. But also what I want to do is, also what I like to do with the Ivory is sort of use it as a highlight, and then the honey and sort of blend them in. And if I want, I can use a darker one as well, from obviously another brand, to use as my contour if I so wish. But yeah, like I said, they blend really nicely, work really well. They're just a little bit messy. And actually how I apply them, obviously you can put it straight on your face. You can use your fingers, you can use a stippling brush or your foundation brush. I prefer to use a sponge, and what I do is I sort of just a little bit up, I dab it on there and then just sort of work it around so I can do my highlight and work in the darker way. I mean, that's just how I do it. How do you do it? Now these two, I actually really enjoy these ones. These are two little concealer sticks. I've got the neutral. I don't know if this will show up on camera. I've got neutral and I've got warm. And I just think they're neat, the little packaging for some reason. I like that even though they're black, they're a slick black. They're not like the NARS sort of rubbery black where everything sticks to. So I do make a bit of a mess with these ones because it's got that soft cream consistency as well. So, but they're easy to wipe clean. So this is the neutral, and it's just a little pen thing as well. I just use it a little bit like that, otherwise I make a big mess. But I've swatched them. That is warm, which is more of a sort of a slight peachy beige, and then you've got neutral, which is more of your almost like an ivory sort of color. But I find they work really well together. They blend really well. They work well with the HD foundation as well, and they work well with all my sort of other products. But I use them more as like the neutral more. I actually find it works well as a highlight sort of for me, and a concealer, and the warm as well blends quite well. So I sort of use a mixture of the two of them. Why they work well under and over foundation, depending how you want to use it. To work well over my correctors. So yes, quite nice, but they are very, very creamy, so I only need a little bit, and I have to blend in really well, I find, particularly around certain areas where now that I'm closer to my 40s than my 30s, I find that I've got those fine lines. So if I've primed well, blended it well, works good during the day. And something I've snuck in, I just have to mention it. It was in my last video and it's been in a lot of favorites, but it's their liquid eyeliner. I just find it's just a standout product that I have to mention because it's about $8 or $9 for this one. I like the packaging, I like the applicator. It's just that nice fine sort of applicator. As you can see there, I just find it works really well to get a nice fine line. You can push it down a little bit further to get a wider line. But for me, although I don't have sensitive eyes, I do wear contacts, and I find I've never had any issues with this. Never had it sort of bleeding into my skin, smudging, smearing, flaking during the day. So I like it. Good price point, packaging, and the actual product itself. Speaking of eye products, I've got this one, which is the Budge Proof Gel Eyeliner. And I've got Pure Purple. I did actually have the box. There we go, just a nice little clear box. It took me a while to figure out. I was thinking I had to do something here or push it down, but what you do is you just pull it up. Then you actually get the brush applicator in there, which isn't bad. I actually have used it, which is a lot, but that's it there. It's a beautiful, beautiful metallic purple, and it really does give a metallic finish. So I've actually pre-swatched it already, and actually, like I said, I use this. You can get a fine line or a wider line with this brush. Dries quite well, but if you do want to sort of blend it or get that more smudgy look, you do have to sort of just let it set a little bit, maybe 5 seconds, and then smudge it. Otherwise it just sort of wipes it away completely. But yeah, I do like it, works well. I haven't had any issues with my contacts as we used gel eyeliners. Probably used one in my entire lifetime, and I can't really sort of compare it. I do overall prefer liquid over gel or pencil eyeliners, but so far so good, and it does really make my brown eyes pop with this colour. Oh, and just the thing with Face of Australia products, they're made all over the world, so they're not just made in Australia. Some products are, I mean, these HD stick foundations are made in Australia, but something like this is made in Taiwan. Some products are made in Spain, I think. These are made in Australia, the illuminators. The blushes are made in China, so these are actually made in China. Okay, sorry guys, I know I'm just blabbing on here a little. These I have to mention, the Opulent eye pellets. So I mentioned one in my last post, which was like more of blues, and I think it was blues and silvers or something like that. But these I thought are gorgeous. This one is Romantique, so your purples, and this one is diamonds and pearls. So your sort of diamondy, pearly sort of colours. It's actually got a pink and a brownie orange and a brown in there, but they're gorgeous. These are about $14, $15. Now they do say you can use them wet or dry, but to be completely honest, I prefer these wet. When I've used them dry, and I actually did pre-swatch, probably won't even show up, but it sort of rubbed off. I find they're more, they say a pearl finish, but I find they're more shimmery to pearl finish when they're dry. They don't blend the easiest, and you don't get much sort of colour payoff. They sort of flake or come off easier. But when I use them wet, get a lot of colour payoff. They come off more metallic. They give a really great pigmentation, really great colour payoff. Here's sort of when I've just and I had to really work at it to get the colour payoff there dry, and that's it, just in one swipe wet. Really easy wet, and they're beautiful. I'd say these are beautiful, beautiful eyeshadows as wet. But they're dry, like I said, dry. If you just want something as a light sheer sort of colour, they're fine dry. Not a problem, but it's just sort of that blending in if you really want to sort of work out sort of blending in the shades or the tonality. But like I said, as wet, fantastic colours. And because of that, I actually picked up one to give away. I just did a sneak peek. This is this one here. This is the Sapphire Desire. I just couldn't resist it. It's such a beautiful spring summer colour, I thought. Absolutely gorgeous. And these I thought would look fantastic wet. So that's in another giveaway coming up. So it was just a sneak peek. But yeah, wet, 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 wet. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, guys. This one, Bieber. It's a new product I've tried. So it's not. I can't really give a review on it. Like I think this is more of an overview of my products than a review. But this one is their 6-in-1 BB cream. You can get light, medium, and medium to dark. I've got the medium to dark because I thought I could work it in with my other BB creams because I have so many light ones. And I thought this will be great for summer. Now it does say it quite hydrating, SPF. in there, or UV filters, anti-aging, because it does have aloe vera leaf juice in it, but it does have parabens, but I mean a lot do. But you do get 50 ml of product. Swatching it, here's the swatch. It's more of an orangey colour on my skin, but I think most sort of the dark, medium to dark BB creams seem to come off a little bit orangey on me. That's why I do prefer the light ones. They're more of your ivory sort of ivory beige shade, and they work fantastically well. I can either blend them in with my foundations, wear them under it, or blend them in easily with my other BB creams. This blends fine, not a problem. I do find that it sort of lasts a little bit longer if I prime really well, and if I don't wear it all day. So out of all the BB creams I've tried, this is probably more of a don't necessarily need to repurchase it sort of thing, but I think I really need to work it a little bit more. I'll give it a good workout, sort of more sort of the tail end of spring, summer, once I've sort of tanned up a little bit, and give you more of a sort of a proper breakdown how I find this. So this is more, I would say, an overview. But like I said, that's the colour payoff on it. Does blend really easily with my other BB creams. Works well, very hydrating. But I do have to sort of leave that for the moment. That is that one. And another product that I will be coming back to is this one. This is the bronze gel. I just picked it up because I'm as pale as a ghost, as you can probably tell. But this is the streak-free tanning gel. No Miss Spots Body, 150 mils. So I will keep you posted on that one, how I actually go. So I haven't used it, it's brand new, haven't applied it. So we'll see if it is streak free and how we go with the application and colour on that one. So hopefully I have managed to include all the products. That's that one. Please leave feedback down below what your favourite Face of Australia products are, or what you would even like to see me try. So guys, take care and enjoy spring here.